Following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
Hi guys, welcome to Mr. versus Mrs. LaGrasso versus LaGrasso, right here on Vince Russo's The Brand and Big Vito Audio. I am the Mrs. part, I am Noel. This is the Mr. part, he's Big Vito. And for those of you watching, so we found out who is and who isn't, and who loves and who doesn't, haters. We're here to present you a program full of positivity and happiness and zero pro wrestling. Vito, can you tell I got a little miffed this week at people? A little miffed.
How you doing, guys? And welcome to our show. It's great always to be here. So happy to have you guys watching. Thank you for participating. Guys, we just want to start off the show with, I can't be any more positive on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on anything, TikTok. I put out the most positive stuff you could ever put out. And when you have people who want to bash me and say things and then insult my wife, not cool. That's what makes it, hard, because, guys, we don't pay our rent doing this. We don't pay our $2,000 mortgage with this show. And to take people's guff and nonsense over what? Because you don't like being positive, or you get offended by something we said. I don't offend anybody on the thing, and you know what? I have fun on that. And if if I troll my friends and I say funny things, or I say things that are not directed to anybody else, and you chime in, you want to insult me. Why be insulting? Mind your business wasn't directed at you.
The thing is that, and this happened before a while ago. We were talking to Vince about it. Remember when you and Vince used to go back and forth about the pizza and the albums and all that stuff, and you guys laughed about it, and then people took it seriously and thought you guys were fighting.
And we had to stop.
So then people jumped into this chat and they were like, oh, well, I heard Vito really has heat with The Rock. We are friends with literally everyone in the Rock's family, individually together.
I have to tell you, thank you for me and the Rock having a program. Yeah, I always have the program, and who in the hell is the Rock? Because I'm just as handsome, not better looking than the fucking Rock. Fuck the Rock. He's a B movie player. All right.
Fuck you guys actually believe that that's Vito's literal MO. Vito watches all the Rock's movies. You're friends with all of his cousins. We're friends with his dad before he passed away. This is.
I'm amazed at how people. Vito has heat with the Rock. Rock and Vito have heat. Oh my God!
I always suspected there was heat there. That's the one that popped me. I always suspected there was some heat there.
You want to know something,
guys?
How the fuck do you know anything that goes on in my personal life with the Rock? And yeah, I got heat with the Rock. He hasn't given me a movie role because he's jealous.
See, guys, there was a few years ago, there was a thing that I filmed it, believe it or not. People don't know this, but I actually filmed it. We were having lunch with Bill Apter. We were at some kind of convention, and we love Bill Apter, love him. And he's from where I'm from. So we're sitting there and we're having lunch, and Bill goes, Vito, can we tape some stuff just playing around? It wasn't a serious interview. He's like, oh, yeah, you can use it. So Vito starts cutting this silly ass promo about how he beat Sting at cards, which is actually true. But people took it serious. Somebody took the interview off of Bill's website, cut it up into little pieces, and then said, Vito shoots on The Undertaker. Vito shoots on Sting. Vito shoots on The Rock. But it was all, we were sitting there laughing, and Vito was talking about my fiance at home is so so enamored with my fiance wasn't at home. I was sitting there taping it. Somebody took the whole thing, broke it down, and advertised it as a rare Vito shoot. I mean, it might still be on YouTube. Guys, everything you hear is not legit. Like seriously, it's part of the show.
It's part of the show. So like, hey, Rock, you got anything like that? I'm fucking jacked, son. I am fucking jacked, and I'm ready. Check that shit out.
They were talking about your wish list, and I'm like, they're like, your shoes and stuff. I'm like, you guys got to understand something. I said, number one, I shop off of Vito's wish list. We have wish lists because we shop for each other off of there. Number one. Number two, it's funny. Vito puts like the strangest stuff on there. Like, you guys may remember we did a show and we talked about Vito's wish list, and we were like, why the fuck would you want socks? Like, it's fodder for our show. Vito is a character all into himself, okay? If you send him something, obviously he's grateful for it. He will wear it. He will enjoy it or whatever. Yeah. But it's all part of this. Everything is part of the show, the act, the gimmick, the bit.
Why did I grow a beard? Because of The Rock. He had a beard. Why did it go salt and pepper? Because The Rock had salt and pepper, right?
Maybe there really is heat there, and like you're working even me.
I just like it's fucking ridiculous that people do this.
But here's the thing: like, if you don't have anything nice to say, go say it to someone else because we don't want to hear it. If you don't want to watch the show, that's fine. But don't clown us. You guys have no idea. I'll be up till 4:00 in the morning editing this show to go to Vince first thing in the morning. I'll be up till 4 a.m. doing that. Yeah. I don't get a whole lot of sleep anyway. I'll be up till 4:00 in the morning. And obviously people watch us because we're featured in 9 different countries on our podcast. We have a Patreon that we're being successful at. We've been running a Twitch. Vito's gone viral on TikTok a few times. Like, we're not bums. If you're not interested, don't clown us. Just don't watch.
Just don't watch.
You don't have to subscribe on Patreon or whatever, Twitch, whatever. Don't follow us on social media. I'm not going to cry into my fucking beer. Like, seriously, like, get over it. Like, if you don't like it, don't watch. And then people hitting me with like quotes that Disco said, not about us, but just randomly between him and I'm supposed to like get that. Like, I sit around and watch everybody's fucking shit. Like, I'm not the busiest person you fucking know.
That's another thing. I watch nobody's podcast. I don't even watch wrestling, right? I don't partake in any of this drama on Facebook. I have my show Forget in Color, which I do my own investigation on wrestling news. And you want to know something? I'm on point with everything because I keep up with what's important and what matters, right? So I'm not sitting there for 9 hours. I'm not dedicated for 8 hours to be a podcaster. I'm not that. Guys, there's life after wrestling. There's something more than wrestling. If they were paying me to be a wrestling guru and sit there and watch this garbage or sit there and train guys, I would do it. I would be paid handsomely for it. I'm not going to do it just because my life is boring. I have other things to do. I like to tan. I keep myself. I trim my beard. I go for
that was the other thing they were talking about. You talking about the way you look and whatever. And then one of the guys goes, it all ties in together. Don't you understand? Like, somebody went on and defended it. They're like, don't you understand that that's like the Vito? Like, that's it. It all ties in. It ties in with the wish list and the face stuff and the lotions and that's Vito. And then I'm the one that'll come out here and I'll just be like,
guys, picking on him. And that's guys, you realize that, like, when you look at wrestlers, okay, somebody who's been around as long as I have, and you look at other wrestlers who've been in the same time, and then you look at me, do you notice a big difference in how we look? Do you notice a big, like, okay, I flex and I show my body. You look at that and you say, okay, he's in shape. He looks like a young guy. He looks like he can still go. And I can. I always keep myself in that kind of shape. I look good. I feel good. My teeth are white. My beard is trimmed, like manicured. My feet are manicured. My hands are manicured. Everything is perfect on me. I keep my face. I do everything. When I go out, right, you might say, okay, I overdress, I overkill, but I like to look like $1 million every time I step out of the house.
But even if it's overkill, it's your fucking business. Now, here's the bottom line to the whole thing.
Yeah.
We like to interact with people, and we do, especially on Patreon, and I've gotten some really good inboxes. Everybody knows, and I explained it on the show, I've been going through a really hard time with my health and my family's health. And I've gotten some great messages and people telling me how this Mr. versus Mrs. show, they listen with their wives. It's one of the shows on the brand they could actually listen to their wives with or their families with, or thanking us because we've been through so much and we got through it. They get a chance to do it. And we love to interact with you guys. But when you go in those chats for those certain things, you don't see Vince in there. You don't see Disco in there. You don't see Jeff Lane in there. And do you know why, guys? This is the kind of interaction that people don't want to have that are on these shows. You know, Vito is, whether you want to down him or say whatever, he still did what he did. He's been all over the world. He's former champion on all levels. He's all these things. And here he is going, hey guys, I want to interact with you. And then you guys want to clown him. That is why you're not getting the interaction from other people on the brand. You're not going to see Velvet Sky in that chat. She's a longtime friend of mine. You're not going to see her in there because she's not going to allow herself to be clowned like that. There's a lot of people that are not going to interact with you because of the way you come off. Do you know why? We're regular human beings just like you are. We're nothing special just like you are. So when you think somebody comes into your job and acts like a Karen and curses you out, do you want that at home in your house? They don't want it either.
I'll give you one better, guys. Who was the wrestler who just passed away? He was a friend of mine. Who was it?
New Jack?
It wasn't New Jack. It was somebody else. It just
It's sad that we have to sit here and think about it.
Somebody had just passed away.
Paul Orndorff passed away.
Hold on. There you go.
You're friends with Paul Orndorff?
So it was Paul Orndorff. It was somebody else, but somebody I had knew I was upset about, and I posted about it. I get an inbox, and I posted about it. It was early in the morning, and the guy says, hey, what do you think I should do about my wrestling career? I said, I just lost a friend. I said, and you want me to concentrate on your wrestling career? That's how indecent and unappreciative and so unsensitive you people are, because you think we're not human beings. You think I just want to think about your career and what you could do. Hey, watch the tape and do that. When I have my own life going on, hey, I have a great life on the outside and I do great things and I post great things. Do you know what goes on inside my house? No, you don't. Do you know what I look at every day? Do you know what I deal with every day? Do you know how I try to handle things every day? Do you know that my wagon is full every goddamn day? But people say, hey, how about my wrestling career? Hey, how about like showing some decency and like, you know, and like waiting a couple days before you hit me up, you know, and like on the worst days and when you post something bad and people have no common courtesy, no respect. Hey, what about how about saying, and I hate that. Hey, how are you today? How's everything? And then go into something. Hey, listen, you got to do this. You got to. How about hello? I didn't know I fucking know you. I didn't know you were my brother. Hey, how about going fuck yourself and don't fucking talk to you like that?
But here's the thing, too, is like, you know what? I understand that we're somewhat in the public spotlight and we're going to receive criticism. Okay. But here's the thing. Stop. Why do we go after everything in life that's not exactly what we want it to be or not? I mean, like I said, don't be a fucking Karen. Don't be a podcast Karen. Chill the fuck out. If you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. But this week was tough. I went and I had said on last week's thing, I was getting testing this week. We're waiting for the test results. That happened the day after the testing, that we're sitting here waiting for results, and then we're getting fucking clowned. What I've been working on to distract myself, then I got to go over here and fucking deal with that shit. And I normally don't let it bother me, but man, you know what? Like when you work hard at something, that's our new podcast Karens. That's what they are. Podcast Karens. Don't be a Karen.
I just, you know, and then something came across today how somebody's called Eddie Guerrero a B+ player. The guy is deceased. He's not here with us. Why pick on Eddie Guerrero? There's 10,000 wrestlers who are wrestling who are the shits. Go pick on them, and you're going to pick on somebody who's deceased. Remember, wrestlers have families, they have kids, they have wives, they have ex-wives, they have in-laws, they have people who are loyal to them, and you're going to shit on them when they're not here to defend themselves. That's like somebody talking about Balls Mahoney or Axel Rotten or New Jack or somebody, or Sabu's wife who just passed away, and like a whole bunch of other people who passed away, and you're gonna shit on them, but they ain't fucking here. But God forbid you say it to my face, or you come up to me and like, hey, I got a fucking beef. You got a beef, motherfucker? Let's go outside.
That'll never happen. I don't want to be a downer or anything like. I'm not a Debbie Downer, but I wanted to address it specifically because it was to this brand, and I enjoy interacting with it. I enjoy commenting on posts and having a good time, and burying Dave Meltzer because he makes himself a target. So I mean, but we don't. We're the positive people. We don't say negative stuff. We're the positive people.
No, and you want to know something? You want to know something about? I'm going to put this out there. Everybody can listen to this, and everybody be cool, right? I have no problems with Dave Meltzer personally. Okay, and this is the truth. Okay, and here it is. I don't know him on a personal level. I've met him a few times, right? But when you constantly friggin' bury Vince Russo and talk bullshit, I can't stand that with a passion. You want to be a journalist. You want to be an analyst. You want to put something out there that's true. You want to give your predictions on what's going to happen in wrestling like I do. That's all awesome stuff. But when you bury somebody's, credibility, what they did, how they do, what they did, and you sick of it, like shut the fuck up already and just fucking do your job.
Well, we also have a little bit of a personal hand with the Dave Meltzer thing, and you guys could go back and look. I don't want to talk about it, but when our friends were involved in that horrible murder-suicide, Dave Meltzer came out and told a bunch of lies. I'm not going to talk about it. You could look it up on the Russo brand if you want, but it's more of a personal thing with Dave Meltzer than it has nothing to do with wrestling. It has something to do with personal hit home with us too. So that aside, that's the case. Vito, I can't believe we're still going to have a vote. And our vote is so not specific to what this podcast is
How do we do
about.
this week on the vote?
All right, guys, here we go. This is the vote for this week. Vito, you lost horribly. Nobody is drinking wine at a barbecue. Like, what was wrong with you? You should have picked something like something. I had whiskey. Yeah, you blew it. And I kept trying to steer you towards something.
Don't steer me nothing.
But you just were like, I want some wine. And then everybody's like, Vito, you drink wine at a fucking barbecue? And then it looked bad. I'm sorry. I love you.
Good, don't come to my fucking
Don't come to your barbecue. That's all right, guys. You can come to my barbecue. I have the whiskey. Did you ever try peanut butter whiskey? They have some down at the country club. It's delicious.
Really? Oh, my God.
I will punch you.
Oh
I can't. Why do you do that to me?
And then she says, oh, did you try it at the country club? On the Big Vito account.
No, it wasn't. I paid for it myself.
Yeah, on the Big Vito credit because.
No, I didn't. I paid for it out of my own pocket.
Oh my God! Why do you think you get treated to all these new things because you're Big Vito's
wife? What was
wife?
I treated to? I said, "Hey, Joey, is that peanut butter whiskey? Let me get a shot."
And where
that
did
had
you go?
nothing to do with you.
And Joey's my guy.
Oh my God, we're gonna have a vote on who's your guy, and I'm gonna bring fucking Joey on the show. I will have him sit right here in between and have him say who's the man around here. The whiskey drinker, the winner for 4 billion weeks of this show, Noel LaGrasso, the queen.
Do you like your position here on the show?
Don't you start again. I don't have time for it. Let me tell you guys a little tale before we get to this vote. Okay? And this vote, by the way, is dedicated to our nephew, Morty, who